There we go. All right, bit of a false start there, but we're back to it. Welcome to Inner Strength Check podcast. I am joined this morning or this evening, whatever time it is over there, with Eric Peterson, long-standing member of US Thrashers Testament. Eric, how are things going?
So, going good. Yeah, we're coming to Australia. It's been, I guess, 15 years since we've been there, or since we last headlined. We were there, I think, 12 plus years ago for the Soundwave.
Hmm.
We were supposed to come back in 2020 for the Soundwave, and then everybody, everything turned into a shitstorm. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and then we just been back at it in late 22, 23. So, we're making our rounds to Australia now.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that was for the Download Festival in 2020, but then unfortunately there was a little incident with a little bug which kind of prevented us from doing much of anything for a bit. So a lot's
Yeah.
happened since you guys have last been to Australia on your last Australian tour.
Well, we put we've put out three records since then.
Yeah.
Um, Dark Roots of Earth. I'm not sure if we did that. Maybe we had that when we did the Soundwave, but Brotherhood of the Snake, uh, Titans of Creation, and our new one coming out, which
Mm.
we're turning in like a week. We just
Oh,
finished
really?
mixing. Yeah, we just finished mixing it 2 days ago. So
Oh,
now
wow.
it's getting mastered this week and uh, putting the booklet and everything together right before we leave. And then then it's coming out soon.
Wow, wow. So that's going to
Yeah.
tie in very nicely, very closely with the Australian tour then. You must be excited on two fronts.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could play a couple tunes, but we haven't even picked out the single, or we're going to be doing a video and stuff when we get back in July. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've been there, so we have plenty of music to catch up with you guys on.
Yeah,
Tell
fantastic.
everybody, hey, check out this song. You never heard this one.
Yeah, exactly. There would probably be some people that going, hang on, what was haven't heard this one before because you guys have had quite a lot of you got a pretty extensive discography now. I think you're up to about is this will be your 14th album coming out soon?
I lost track. I know that we're 13, but maybe Titans was 13. So
Thereabouts, but yeah.
5, 6. So 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is going to be the 13th, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then there's the live records. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot to sort of that's a lot to kind of keep track of, really, but also a lot
It's very,
to kind of pull from for live shows, I imagine.
yeah, it's hard to pick songs because we're very picky when we write. And I think every song that we write, we could probably play live.
Mm,
But then there's some that, we say, oh, those are album songs. And, um, maybe they'll just stay on the album. But we've been playing these album songs lately, and they're a lot of fun. I think we always pick the ones that we know that's just gonna cause havoc, in the room and get everybody going. But then there's some other songs that we've been playing lately that are more, maybe it's more visual and more listening, and that's kind of cool.
right,
Well, we're
right,
getting a little bit more confident and just we don't have to everybody going ape shit, while we're playing.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So choosing to kind of like diversify your live set list a bit more in terms of like mood, tone, that sort of thing.
Exactly. That way,
Yeah.
when we do hit a song that makes you go crazy, you know, I think
Hits even harder.
hits harder. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. That's great. And I guess you guys obviously, you've been in the band the longest, and you guys have been a band for a really long time, right? Like, what helps keep I guess this is kind of a twofold question, but what helps keep things fresh for you personally in terms of still touring and still creating new tunes after all this time? Because it's a long time to be doing either of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not by choice, but I think getting new blood in the band and that's probably one of the main things I think,
Mm,
because especially with drummers, you just, like I said, it's new blood. And when you find somebody that really fits, and everybody that we've had, really fit at the time,
mm,
um, it just, it gets exciting again, because it's a different take on it.
mm.
Uh, yeah.
Mm, mm. So with your latest, so you've been through not too many lineup changes really in the scheme of things for a band operating for as many decades as you have. Um, how are things in terms of the band itself? And so you guys have played a recent run of a Night with Testament shows
Mhm.
in the US. And how are things feeling on stage with the band and just being on tour again for you guys at the moment?
Well, regarding the last tour that you mentioned, so the evening with Testament, that was a lot different for us because, first of all, usually like an hour, 90 minutes is probably a good set for us, and we're pretty swamped and sweaty and tired. And but then thinking back, when we do those kind of shows, we kind of just plow through each song.
Mm,
um Chuck has a tendency to just push us. We're just, no drinking water for at least, an hour. It's crazy. But on this last one, we did practice what you preach in its entirety, but between every other song, we talked and explained and told stories about the songs,
mm,
and started having fun going back and forth with each other, and then switching it up with some acoustics.
mm, mm,
Totally changed the vibe of everything, and then, you know more clowning and talking, and then picking the pace back up with something heavy, and then doing some ballads that we haven't done, forever, or for 20 plus years,
mm.
and then ending it with some more deep cuts. And yeah, it was long, but it didn't seem long because it's like we were just having fun.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah.
new way to look at it for us, and we're excited to kind of maybe start thinking about doing a show like this more often.
Right, right,
You know,
yeah. So I
I
imagine
mean,
that.
obviously, when we come to Australia, we can't play that long. We have opening bands, but maybe we'll try to throw something together that's kind of a version of that. Like a more headlining set.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, we don't want to kill you guys, but I'm sure everyone in Australia would love a like 90-minute plus Testament set. Um, what does help you? What helps you personally, Eric, in terms of keeping touring going? Like coming to Australia is obviously like exciting and it's a bit of a different place, but just in general, what kind of helps keep the stoke for you? Because you mentioned before that Chuck was a bit of a, bit of a quartermaster, bit of a rally the troops, let's go. What kind of helps you to keep on touring?
Uh, well, I mean, I think the more you tour, the more, it's a stamina thing. When we don't tour for a while, picking it up again, it's just opening up those wounds and just,
Mm,
you got to get through that. But I think when we do tour, I like when we just keep going to each continent and just kind of we get better and better and tighter and tighter. And some of the songs that we picked that were just seemed impossible to play,
mm,
they become like, super easy. Like there's a song that the first couple shows is always feels very, very hard to play, just stamina wise. World War III is a really hard one.
mm.
Like Native Blood. It's just, so some of these songs, they're not really hard to play. It's a lot of guitar picking. It doesn't
Yeah.
give
Mm.
up. Um, but yeah, so like I said, after a couple days, you build up that, you know
That's
stamina for it. Yeah.
mm. And it sounds like you're finding ways, obviously, it's easy for an audience to look at you playing on stage and just be like, wow, like, there they are just playing thrash flawlessly. But you mentioned, it takes a little bit of time to get back into it on the swing of things with tours, with new songs and stuff. Do you feel like that also helps keep things fresh for you, like as a guitarist, being able to be challenged by your own material?
For sure. Especially with the slow songs too. I think some of the easier ones that we have, you're more exposed to
Mm.
making a mistake. Like every once in a while, like when I played, we started playing Return to Serenity again, and it starts off with three notes, do do do. There's been times where I've gone do 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 do, because you have to hit the open A and then the B and the C on the third string. So it's like do do do, and
Mm.
it's so easy, and you're by yourself, no one else, and then Chuck will go, oh, da-da. So yeah, I mean stuff like there's the easy stuff is really hard to play, kind of, but I think
Mm.
like we've been playing them a lot, and there's just a certain mentality, like you just got to say, fuck it and just do it.
Let's rock. Yeah, yeah. Um, what are you looking forward to most about returning to Australia? Like, do you have any? I know it's been quite a while, but is there anything in particular that stands out for you personally as a reason you love to tour Australia again?
Just the crowds are great. People, people there are genuine and super cool and chill, very nice. Yeah, it's one of those places like Japan or something where I mean it feels at home because it's English and you know, but there's that extra, getting there so far away and you know that you can't come back all the time. So when we come there, it's overwhelmingly cool.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
been a while for us. I kind of forgot what are the cool things about it, other than knowing that the people are awesome. But I'm kind of excited in a new way to like explore Australia 15 years later.
mm. Because it's been. I actually thought, oh, Testament. Like, I totally forgot. I thought, didn't I see them like 4 or 5 years ago? Oh no, that was like 15 years ago. So yeah, it's been a while. So
Yeah. So what
yeah.
were you, like a teenager or something, or?
I wasn't far from it. I was early 20s, but
Yeah,
like, yeah, not far from it. But it's a significant amount of time. So I
it
think
is. It really is.
the Australian audiences, we have a lot of pent up thrasher energy ready for you guys. Any kinds of hints about the set list in general? Like, are we looking at a mix of material across the discography? Is it a bit of everything, or
Bit of everything. Yeah, the top songs, but then some deep cuts that we've brought back in. Um, Definitely some slower songs that we've never played.
Mm,
That are and it's funny because we're a thrash band, but like Spotify and just downloads and whatever you want to call it, Return to Serenity is like the top song,
yeah,
and we've never played it because we're like, oh, it doesn't fit our vibe, and it's no one can thrash to it, and we started playing it in Europe last year, and as soon as the heavy part comes in on the solo, there's a pit,
yeah,
and we're like, even when we're going slow, people are body surfing. We're like, wait a minute, what? So I mean, things change, and people, get used to what you wrote 20 plus years ago or whatever. Maybe not that long ago, but no, yeah, that long ago for sure. What am I talking about? Um, yeah,
mm,
it's the right time.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
now we're comfortable playing it. Instead of going, okay, we'll do that song. We're doing all of them.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Well,
Yeah,
I'm personally looking very much forward to it. Um,
awesome.
and I'm sure you guys are very well looking forward to coming back to Australia. And
Yeah, oh yeah. We're a week away, so yeah, we leave next Sunday.
oh my God, yeah, yeah, that's true. Man, time really is flying. I don't know about you guys, but time just especially seems like it's flying this year.
So the older you get and the more shit you got going on in your life, I mean, it just friggin' flies by. I mean, in the beginning, and we were talking, with interviews and just other people, like our first four records, we did a record each year,
Mm,
87, 88, 89, 90, 92. And in between those times, we toured the world. So
Mm.
and then I'm thinking, how did we go tour everywhere? And not, maybe not so much on the first record, but I mean, we still toured the States and Europe and, I think some South America stuff, but, and then come write a record and go back on New Order and do all what we did. And then come back and, it's like when you get older, everything's just going,
Yeah. Well, that just makes you like appreciate the moment when you guys are on stage even more, I'll bet.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys, and I think irrespective of whatever you guys play at whatever tempo, people will be going ape shit and crowd surfing and circle pits and everything because it's been quite a while. So we'll all be very excited to have you guys and to see you
We
guys
got
when
we
you
got a very
perform.
special set, so I think it's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Eric,
Yeah.
you've been through the music journalism meat grinder, so I'll leave you to it with a few minutes to spare for your next one. But thank you very much for coming on today, and
Yeah.
we shall see you shortly.
All right.
I'll
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
no
Appreciate it.
worries. All right. Take it easy, man.
We'll
Thank
see you.
you. See
Bye
ya.
bye. Later.
Head on over to innerstrengthcheckpodcast.com, where you'll find completely organic human flesh bag created content. Show notes, including full details, ticket links, and more for the upcoming Australian tour will be available on the blog alongside this interview, as well as audio-only versions on our many streaming platforms. Peace, love, and neck-breaking thrash metal.